Ethicon PhysioMesh is a sterile, low-profile, flexible composite mesh designed for the repair of hernias and other fascial deficiencies. It's composed of 5 distinct layers. In the center is a layer of large-pore, thin-filament polypropylene mesh. It has the same composition as Prolene suture. This mesh demonstrates high burst strength, which exceeds the maximum abdominal pressure. It also stretches to closely match the abdominal wall and is physiologically designed to complement every twist and turn. The mesh is laminated between 2 outer films of absorbable monocryl, polyglycoprone 25 suture polymer. These films are an effective tissue separating barrier. A layer of PDS polydioxanone film provides the bond between the mesh and both monocryl layers during the lamination process. A dyed PDS orientation marker is placed on one side of the mesh. Because PhysioMesh is transparent, this marker is visible from either side. The following sequence shows Ethicon PhysioMesh for ventral hernia repair in the upper abdomen using a laparoscopic procedure. After completing the necessary dissection, reduction, and preparation of the hernia site, select PhysioMesh in the appropriate size. It is available in 10 sizes up to 30 by 50 centimeters. Trim PhysioMesh as needed. It can be cut and shaped to conform to the patient's anatomy. Be sure to follow a sufficient overlap of the fascial defect on all sides. For surgical applications, PhysioMesh has no front or back surface. It is functionally identical on both sides. PhysioMesh has sufficient shape memory for ease of deployment. Center PhysioMesh under the defect. It demonstrates exceptional intraoperative handling and does not adhere to the bowel or other viscera. Either side can face the abdominal wall. Using the markers as a guide, orient PhysioMesh in a cranial to caudal direction. Lightly press PhysioMesh into position. It clings to the abdominal wall and can be positioned easily. The anatomy of the abdominal wall can be viewed through PhysioMesh, which facilitates alignment. Also, PhysioMesh does not discolor or darken upon contact with blood or bodily fluids, so the defect and orientation markers are visible for adjustments. PhysioMesh can be fixated with all available means of mechanical fixation according to the standard of care. One approach for achieving a flat and smooth placement is to begin fixation at 4 points, placing each point approximately 6.5 millimeters from the edge. Next, add fixation at 4 more points, spaced evenly between the first 4. Place additional fixation around the circumference of PhysioMesh every 6.5 to 12.5 millimeters. Adequate fixation is required to minimize post-operative complications and recurrence. A double crown technique, transfascial sutures, or both can be added at this point to provide further fixation. During the initial healing period, PhysioMesh's monocryl film minimizes visceral attachments to the mesh, thus reducing risk factors associated with patient complications. By day 7, PhysioMesh is completely covered by mesothelium. At this point, the monocryl layers begin to fracture, allowing fibroblasts to migrate into the mesh. The large pore construction facilitates excellent parietal tissue integration. By day 21, effective tissue integration yields a mesh that becomes a part of the abdominal wall. Within 240 days, the monocryl and PDS layers are completely absorbed. Only the polypropylene mesh remains. Due to its large pore, thin filament design, PhysioMesh provides for a flexible scar mesh that is compliant with the abdominal wall. This prevents the formation of a rigid scar mesh and promotes greater patient comfort over the long term.